Hey guys, it's me Bert and welcome back to my channel. So for today I did a simple eye look, but what I really did was try to teach you how I would do a winged eyeliner. Having hooded eyes, winged eyeliner is not necessarily something I would do on a regular, but on occasion you really kind of want that look. So this is how I would complete it. I give you some tricks and tips on how to get a real good line and ways to kind of help cover up or recover from any kind of errors that you might make. So if you want to see how I accomplished this wing, please stay tuned. Okay, so I have already primed my eyes and we're gonna go ahead and use the Naked Smokey palette for today's eye look. We're sticking with all the matte shades in the Smokey palette today. So starting with a big flat like paddle brush, we're gonna go into the light shade of the Smokey palette. The number 13 is what they call it. And that I'm actually just gonna spread all over my eye. I'm using that to help set the primer that I have put on my face. Okay, now using our big fluffy brush, we're gonna go into the color Combust, which is kind of like that pinky gray color. And that we're gonna use as our transition color. Okay, then going into a more exacting blending brush, we're going to go into the color Password, which is kind of like that, it's kind of a purpley gray color. And that I'm placing right in my crease. I'm making sure to get in the outer corner really well. And then for a little bit, we're going to go and take Black Market. Now that is a satin, so it does have a bit of a sheen, but we're just using the tiniest amount to kind of debun up the corner. Okay, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and take a white cotton round and a little bit of makeup remover, and I fold this into quarters so I get a nice edge on it. And then essentially, just like you've seen me do in my no tape video, we're going to go ahead and pull this up and out. Okay, so using the Kat Von D Tattoo liner in the color Trooper. That's the black one. That's how I'm going to go ahead and use to create my winged liner. The Master Precise by Maybelline is a great drugstore alternative because it has a nice long thin tip to it, so it really helps you to make a nice small fine line. So I'm gonna go ahead and do just like I always do and start with the inner corner, putting my dashes down. Till I get about halfway. And then from that point, what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna lay the brush down with the bottom line of my lower lashes. So the actual line, your actual lash line, which also should mimic the line that I just created with cleaning up my abundance of eyeshadow. So what I do is very lightly lay that down and pull it down. So that'll create a very thin, small line. But it gives me a base point. It makes me take a look. I go, is that how I want it? Is that the angle I want it? Does that look about right? And that looks about right. So from that point, what I'll do is, going about halfway down that line I created, I'll put my pen down again. And I sweep it along the shape of my eye. So that's how I actually fill in my actual eyeliner, and that's how I do it every day. I just don't do it as wide out. I'll put it down much closer to my lash line and sweep it up and over. Okay, so my camera shut off during part of the filming of the first eye, so I'm going to go ahead and try and film it on the second eye. And yeah, just like that, I have created a winged liner. Now for me and my eye shape, I don't do a wing very often. The hood, as you can see, kind of tends to cover it up. So, and if I do it too high of an angle, it folds, and then in turn kind of wrecks the shape that you're going for. So when I talk about doing a baby wing, this is about what I'm talking about doing. But for those of my beauties who do not have an issue with hooded eyes, this would still be the process that I would recommend. Laying it down to help you get the angle, sweeping it up and around just to make it easier. Winging takes a certain amount of practice. If you use the right tools for you, it becomes a lot easier, and it's less about practice and more about letting the tools do the work for you. So that's how I would do it. Let's fix this little bit here because I can see it on the camera and it's making me crazy. There we go, that's better. But that's how I would do a wing. Again, partly also why I do eyeshadow the way I do is it helps create that lifted look out at the corner without actually having to do a wing. So there you go, that's that part. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my face and I'll be back in a minute. So as another tip, when you're putting your makeup on, if you find you don't like the line of your eyeliner, you can always erase things with concealer on a brush. Again, I've shown this idea in my no tape video, which I will link in the bottom bar just so you guys have it. Okay guys, so here we are with my completed face, and I just put on my foundation, my concealer as I always do. Nothing exciting there. I have put on brows and lashes, and I did use a kind of neutrally pinky mauve-y lipstick. I didn't want anything too bright today. So yeah, that completes the look, and that is how I would do a winged eyeliner. I hope you guys learned something out of this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and give me that thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, how long was I not recording? Shit. And hopefully maybe this time I can also stay in frame. We'll see how this works. I hope you guys learned something out of this. Wow, I really can't talk.